All right, guys, are y'all excited for these Zooms this week or this month? They are next level. They are next level Zooms. So take a deep breath because you earned it. You're here because you decided to take it to the next level. Okay. So I'm excited for you guys. Welcome to the Rise Room. I have been watching every single comment, reading every single comment, seeing who's there, seeing the feedback and how you're interpreting some of the thinking prompts. And I'm really impressed with you guys. This room is, you're here because you're ready to lead at the highest level. You're also ready to be led at a higher level. Okay. You're here to not dabble. You're here to not half commit. You're here to lead. Okay. So you've already proven that you're here to do the work. Now it's about continuing that work and how you can sharpen how you work. Okay. So again, we're going to set some expectations as we kind of move forward. We participate here. We implement here. We hold ourselves accountable. We hold our best friends accountable. We dig deep into the thinking prompts. You guys don't just answer to answer. Those thought processes, those thinking prompts, the questions at the end where you answer in the comments, shake your head yes if you know what I'm talking about. They are designed to get you thinking. Don't just answer it because it's like, oh, that's an easy one. Da, da, da. No, I want you to think about it. The way you're going to get the most out of this entire experience is being brutally honest with yourself, really thinking, how can I apply this to who I am and how I lead and how I show up? And then answer those questions. Okay. Don't just check off to check off, right? We don't post just to post and say done, right? We post to connect. We don't just reach out to cross it off and go 10, 10, 6, done. No, let's really do it full out, as they say. Okay. Full out. That's how this room is going to stretch you. The people that are going to get the most out of these 24 days are the ones that give it all for their 24 days. You following me? Yes. Yes. Okay. Got commitments? Yes. Okay. Good. So, guys, we are stepping into Q4. Okay. Quarter four of the year, the last bit of the year. This is the quarter where leaders are made. I look back at my 12 years in network marketing, and most of my leaders were shaped, maybe not hit ranks, but shaped in the last part of the year. That's where they finessed and fine-tuned their skill sets. The pace that you set right now, there is a reason that Aspen set the leadership summit in October. There is a reason that she set that goal to be 10K by September 30th. And there's a reason why I created this right now. Because we all know, she knows, the corporate team knows, I also know just from experience that right now the pace you set will carry into your January momentum. Or you're going to look up and go, whoa, I'm starting from scratch in January because I didn't apply myself. Okay. I've seen that happen too. I see some of you with experience. Amber Collins, you're shaking your head going, yep, I've seen this. I know this. I've been in this for years, decades, just like me, right? So we know we've seen this. And guys, this is not the season to coast. It's just not. It's the season to sprint with strategy. And that's what I'm trying to teach you guys right now is there can be strategy in consistency, not just intensity, because this is going to be one of the busiest seasons. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. Tonight, we're going to go over 3 topics that I want to teach you and encourage you some thought process with, okay? So the first one is we're going to have a little lesson on how to use Chat GPT to elevate your business and save time. Who'd like to save time but be more effective? Oh, me. Okay, right. There's too much stuff. Okay, ChatGPT can be extremely beneficial and useful. Okay, used in the right way, it's almost like having a personal marketing assistant. Okay, it can also be virtual assistant, and it can also become oddly one of your close friends. It's weird. It's a cool little tool, okay? But it can be extremely useful when it comes to network marketing. Okay? Used in the wrong way, okay? Listen to me. Used in the wrong way, it's going to make you sound disconnected, inauthentic, and like every other AI generated prompt out there. We want to avoid that because it can kill your connection. Okay. So I know a lot of people are like, let me do all of the chat GPT and have it all made for me. There are some things where if you don't catch it in that post, people are going to know it in 2 seconds. What's one of them? I want to see if somebody knows what's one thing in a chat GPT post that you know it was a chat. There it is. There, I knew somebody was going to get it. The M dashes. It's the long dash. Oh my gosh, just take them out. Just take them out. It's like a sign of dead giveaway, okay? So we're going to go over some prompts. I've also created a Google Doc for you that I'm going to drop in the Rise Room with tons of prompts and ideas that you can take home and practice, okay? So there's going to be some homework a little bit with our Zoom tonight. But we're going to teach you tonight, or I'm going to teach you tonight, how to make ChatGPT sound like you, work for you, and save you hours every single month. I want just a show of hands, honest. I'm not looking for flattery here. Honest, raise your hand if you've seen some of my content lately and you're like, whoa, okay, Tara's coming out the gate a little bit. Okay. I've gotten some messages going, all right, like what is this? Okay. So a little bit of my story is specific to my story. On August 6th, I was able to talk to a lot of people that I wasn't able to talk to for 10 years because of my former company. We're not going into that. It is what it is. It's done. Praise Jesus. Hallelujah. But it's allowed me to show up in the way that I want to show up. I've wanted to for 824 days, you guys. So I'm getting loud. Okay. So I'm loud, but I'm being intentional. Do you want to know what's happened by me being intentional? The only thing that has changed since August 6th, which is what, 4 or 5 days ago, has been my boldness, intention, and volume, literally the quantity of me showing up. I've really not done much different than that. And you guys, I've signed 7 brand partners and 6 customers in those days. I have four more brand partners coming in any minute. Okay. This is because I've gotten intentional. And how did I do it? People are like, oh my gosh, I got a message today from a newbie going, how do you have time to like think of all this? And I'm like, Chat GPT. It helps, okay? But you've got to use the prompts the right way. Okay. So the first step I want you to do, I want you to write this down, like write it down, because if you fail to do this, it's not going to work. You have to tell it who you are first. So ChatGPT, if you don't know, it's an app. You can get the free version or you can upgrade to the paid version, but you need it to know who you are. So tell it who you are first. Well, how do I do that, Tara? Okay. I want you to go find 3 to 5 posts that you've written in your voice. Put them in a note, like a full note, all 3 to 5 of them. And then I want you to send it to ChatGPT and say, this is my voice, learn it, notice my sentence length, my tone, my word choice, the lack of or the existence of emojis, how I don't use M dashes. Don't ever include M dashes in your responses to me. I don't overhype. I am a storyteller at heart. I want my heart to be felt. I balance confidence with warmth, and I like to speak with authority. Okay? Say some of these things about you and how you want to come across. Tell it to do what you want it to do. But it's got to learn your voice. And then tell it in all of your future responses, match my voice. So when it gives you responses, now it looks like you wrote it. It looks like it's in Tara's voice or Caitlin's voice or Ashley's voice. Are you following me so far? This can literally be done in 3 minutes. You just got to find the posts. Boom. And you know what I love is I love how you can talk to it like a voice message. And sometimes I'll just be sitting there and my kids are like, who are you talking to? And I'm like, Chatty. That's what I call Chatty. Chatty. And I'm like, hey, chat. Okay, so this is what I'm thinking I want to do, but this is what, and this is some background, and this is who I am, and this is kind of my goal. And I'm talking to it as if it were, oddly enough, it may weird you out, a person. Okay, it's kind of weird. Okay, but get over it because it works. Okay. So that's the first thing you want to do is tell it who you are. Now, the second thing is you want to feed it specifics before it creates. These are called prompts. Okay, be specific. If you feed it a vague request, it's going to give you a vague response, and it's not going to. It's going to sound like a robot. If you're just like, make a post about Bravenly Gold, okay, I mean, it's literally just going to pull whatever it can, like it's not going to know what you're talking about. Okay. Here's an example of a strong, specific prompt, and I'm going to teach you more on how to do this. Create 30 days of Facebook post ideas for a network marketer. Use the psychology of sales in my voice. My audience is mostly moms and dreamers in the age range of ever. I want 75% of my posts to be business focused, 25% to be product focused. I want my tone confident, conversational, heartfelt, avoid bullet points, and never use em dashes. Include story ideas, emotional hooks, and never sound salesy. Do you see how very specific I was? Right? Very specific.
Are you going to write that down for all of us?
I have a Google Doc ready for you. It's going to be posted in the group, okay? It's all written. But I want you guys to hear it, because imagine if I said that versus, hey, give me 30 days of Facebook posts for Bravenly Global. Which do you think is going to come out better? Right? Okay. So you might be wondering, well, Tara, what did you say to get your 30 days of content? Okay. For example, and again, this is recorded, you guys, you can go back and listen to this. But I said, I am able to really go heavy and hard with some marketing. I know my former company struggles with, or my target audience struggles with, this pain point, this pain point, this pain point, and this pain point. I don't want to shame anybody or call out anybody struggling with those things, but I want my content to be solutions to those things. I want to talk about everything you know about Bravenly Global Online. Pull it from the websites. Go learn everything you can about Bravenly Global Online. All the beneficial stuff. You can even add that qualifier in there. And then say, I want to talk about these 5 things with business. And I gave it our Why Bravenly. I basically did a Why Bravenly to my chat GPT. I want to talk about timing, corporate leadership, systems, products, and comp plan. And the bullet points I'd like to talk about on each one of those are these things, which you can find in the Meet Bravenly link if you need a bullet point. It's all there for you. I then want to talk about products 25% of the time. These are the core products I want to talk about, Accelerate, Trio, and whatever. I mean, I was so dang specific, you guys. And I said, start out with giving me 5 posts and let me make sure I like it. And then it generated the 5 posts. And then I would say, all right, this really isn't it. I want to change it. That doesn't sound like me. Add this, take away this, just this. Okay, we're getting closer. All right. And I would coach it in the responses. And then when it got to where I wanted it to be, I said, great, make 25 more of those. And there, within seconds, I had 30 days of content. And then I spent about an hour pre-scheduling them out and finding old pictures and attaching it, and then I was done. My August content is done for the month in one single afternoon, right? So it took me time to do that, but now I don't even have to mess with it, you guys. Now I can focus on my messages. I can focus on my responses. I can focus on engaging with the comments, right? I can serve my downline and not worry about showing up online because it's already there. You following me so far? Right? Okay. And then I want you guys to use, so we're now going back to some of the content. So number 1, what did we do with ChatGPT? We told it who we were. Number 2, feed it specifics before it creates, so get really good with your prompts. And number 3, use prompts for variety. So keep your content fresh. Don't always ask it the same thing, because then it's gonna it might be amazing when it starts and then it kind of falls flat a little bit. And here's the deal, guys. I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm not just posting once a day. It's like 3 and 4 times a day. Right? I'm loud right now, and I'm in my social media, okay, or in my stories. Okay, so use variety. Even if you've got them scheduled out and you're like, ooh, I need to sprinkle something else in, add a second post in there if you need. Okay, keep it fresh. Here's some ideas. Okay, an idea of keeping it fresh is give me 10 Facebook story ideas that use before and after transformations in storytelling, not just the pictures. Create 20 social media post hooks that are around leadership, belief, and building momentum in quarter 4. Write 7 posts that share customer wins without mentioning the product name if you wanted to be a little bit of attraction marketing there. You can generate all these different ideas. You can also ask it to tell you really great prompts, okay? You can use it to your benefit and say, hey, I'm learning this. I'm a network marketer. These are my goals. This is what I want to happen. I need to increase my business by $10,000 in volume when the average order is 140, and I've got 4 months to do it, and I need a social media marketing plan to make that happen. What are some prompts I need to ask you to get the best content? What are some ideas of how I can generate that volume? Like, guys, you can ask it all these types of questions, okay? Play with it. And number 4, this is probably the biggest one. Always, always proofread and personalize it. Do not just copy and paste it. Okay? Every once in a while, it'll say something funky or it'll do something funky. And even though I've told it 17,000 times, don't use M dashes, it still sneaks those suckers in and I can't stand it. So I always got to delete them. Okay? So never just post the raw output. Ask yourself, does it sound like me? Would I say this out loud? Is this my language? Does it sound salesy and gimmicky like I'm on QVC? Do you need energy for days? Then check out Bravenly Rush. Like that sounds like driving crazy. Okay, sorry if you guys do that, but that's just an honest feedback there. It wasn't shaming you guys, but that's not me, right? That doesn't sound like me. So adjust the words, the tone, the rhythm, even the cadence inside of the punctuation, how somebody would read it to sound like you. Okay? AI is a tool, not your replacement for personal connection. Please remember that. Okay? And then the last thing is you can leverage it for time. Like I said, batch create content. If you're a leader and you're going, what do I talk about to my team? What's a good topic I can teach them? These are the struggle. This is where my team is struggling. We're struggling with XYZ. I'm struggling as a leader to generate XYZ. What's a good topic I can do a Zoom on or teach my team? Guys, it's really smart and it can help you, okay? If you only applied this one skill that could free up hours a month, I know it would also generate more visibility for you on social media, because what's the number one excuse we hear from ourselves and our downline? I'm so busy. I'm so busy, right? The day got away from me. I didn't post. This is fixing that. No excuses. Now y'all know how to do it, okay? And I'm giving you a Google Doc with lots of information, and I will add to that live Google Doc for you guys, okay? All right. Any questions there before we move on to topic 2 that we're going to cover tonight? Okay. If you have a question later, we can address it. Okay, number 2 that I want to talk about tonight is, and it really pertains into going into Q4. And this is some mindset training. So that was a skill set that I wanted to train you guys on. This is going to be some mindset stuff I want to train you guys on. It's leadership in Q4. No half measures. No half measures. Q4 is not the time for maintenance mode. It's not the time for management mode. Raise your hand if you don't know, and it's okay, this is a safe space, what management mode is. You can put a 1 in the chat or raise your hand. Do you not know what management mode is? Because I'm happy to explain that. Okay, great. Thank you, Brandy. Okay, so management mode. Okay, Lily, thank you guys. This honesty is what drives this group, okay? Management mode is when you are focused so much on making sure your downline is doing their things and you're focused on your downline creating the volume and, okay, well, who are you talking to? And you're driving in your downline, but you've forgotten to personally recruit. You've forgotten to personally enroll. You've forgotten the last time that you developed a new SVP, EVP, or director. And you're just solely focused on what's my team doing. You're managing your team rather than leading your team. Does that make sense? Okay, does that make sense? So this is not the time for management mode. There's rarely a time for management mode, but that's a different topic. But this is certainly not the time for management mode, okay? This is the final push. And what you do right now sets the tone for everybody in your organization. You either set the tone of casual or you set the tone of let's go, right? Let's go. Okay. This is the last sprint of the year. Okay. And it's about consistency during this sprint. I kind of like the word marathon a little bit better there. I'm going to change my language. It's a marathon. Okay. You're either going to set the pace for your organization or you're going to get swept into the pace of someone else. Okay. Right. This is busy season. Back to school, holidays after, I don't know, kiddo party and this and that and Halloween and blah, blah, blah. This is my favorite season of the whole year because it's so much fun. But holy smokes, is it busy? Guys, busy is not an excuse. This is high level leader stuff. Okay, right? I'm talking to you with love. Some friends of mine years ago used to call this Tara Tough Love, where I would inject it and it's Tara Tough Love. But guys, I'm not here to listen to excuses. Everybody's busy. Everybody's got a different level of busy, right? If you don't get intentional now, right now, you can forget it on looking and seeing a robust, growing business come January 1st. It'll be one that you're going to have to kind of put some, what are those, what are those things called? Where you like shock your heart, you know, what do you call them? You're going to have to like revive it, okay? You're going to have to revive your business. The paddles, thank you. You know what I'm talking about, right? Okay, you're going to have to revive your business, okay? And you're going to look back and go, either, holy smokes, look what I did, and look at the momentum I created, because momentum is created. It doesn't just happen. Okay. Or you're going to go, where in the world did the time go? And what did I actually do in my business? What did I actually do? Okay. So I want you to do a couple things. Take some notes. Okay. I want you to audit your leadership. Okay. Are you initiating momentum? Or are you waiting for it to happen and then reacting if it does? And then if it fizzles out, okay, well, I'll just circle back when somebody else pops into my downline who wants to work. Or are you creating it? Number 2, are you the most visible person in your downline? Because guys, as a leader, you got to be. Or are you kind of quiet and waiting for others to show up? Have you set, and this is number 3, have you set non-negotiables? Non-negotiable. What does the definition of that mean? You're not going to miss it. Non-negotiable. Have you set non-negotiables for daily visibility and connection with both your audience and your team? Daily non-negotiables. Daily. Okay. And number 4, and this is a tough one. Number 4, and this is both for you and for your downline members. Have you called out complacency or half measures in yourself and in your team with love, but with truth? Have you called it out? Have you helped to prevent the half measures and the complacency? The death of a business is going to be going, man, I'm comfortable. That's the first sign that it's going to start going backwards. Okay. I'm not saying we always have to be in this hustle, 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 go, 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 striving for more. There is peace in the journey. There is peace and joy in the experience. And of course, enjoy the fruits of your labor. But there's a difference between being complacent, right? And kind of half doing it. Are you following what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying? Okay. All right. So Q4, guys, it's about intentionality and consistency, even during the busy. The ones who level up now are going to walk into January already winning. They're going to go to the February conference in Charleston, South Carolina, which I'm really excited about, never been. And they're going to be the ones that are winning, that are hitting that rank title, that are doing the things that you want. And here's the thing, I want you to ask yourself right now, and you can put it in the chat. You can put it in the chat. Ask yourself right now, do you want it? Do you want it? Do you really, really want it? Right? It's easy to say yes to that question. But then I want you to really ask yourself, Are you genuinely, honestly ready to commit for working for it? There's a difference. Do I want it or am I committed to working for it, even on the days that feel like poo poo and I don't want to do it? And I'm busy and I have every reason to say no. And this person had something negative and that thing over there happened and this person quit on me and that lead fell apart and blah, 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 blah. Those days are going to exist a lot. Just saying it. They will. But commitment is different than a flippant desire. Okay. Would it be worth it to you? And ask yourself, would it be worth it to you to have a $10,000 a month paycheck that you receive by January 15th? Maybe money doesn't drive you, but this is just an example. Okay. Would it be worth it to have a $20,000 paycheck? A $30,000 paycheck? Some of you in this room right here on this Zoom, in this Rise Room, some of you will do that for the first time. Many of you will actually. And some of you won't. And some of you are going to, at that point in January, you're going to look back and go, gosh, everybody else is winning, but I'm not. And some of you are going to go, I just don't know why. And I'm going to look back and go, were you committed every day? Did you half measure it or did you full out it? Right? There's seasons of our business that go up and down, but I don't know who here knows about the green M&M story from Brittany Beckett at Summit. If you don't put a one in the chat, because I'm going to say it if you don't know it. Put a one in the chat if you don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, I thought it was so stinking good. It's so stinking good. I think about it every single day. It's so weird, but I'm thinking about green M&Ms all day long. Okay, here's the thing. What she did is she had everybody handed out a small little baggie of M&Ms. And she said, okay, take them out, put them in your hands. And she said, okay, stand up if you have 3 or more green M&Ms. And this was at Summit recently. And some people stood up, not a ton, but some people stood up. 3 green M&Ms. She said, okay, sit down. All right, stand up if you have 2 green M&Ms. And a couple more people stood up. She goes, okay, sit back down. If you have 1, stand up. Okay, more people sit down. Stand up if you have none. And people stood up. She said, the green M&Ms are the runners in your business. Some people will find 3 green M&Ms in 30 days, their first 6 months, quickly right out the gate, and boom, they're flying. That doesn't mean that they're more skilled or better than you. They just found their people either by happen chance or because they were talking to more people, right? She was like, if you want more green M&Ms, what are you going to go do? You're going to go to more stores and buy more M&Ms. Right? If you want more green M&Ms in your business, runners in your business, what are you going to go do? You're going to go talk to people, more people. Debbie Boyd said at the Summer Summit, and she's going to be speaking to us not next, but the third Zoom. She said, guys, it's so funny to me that people expect certainty in this business when it's based on probability. People are not numbers, but this is a numbers business, right? The more people you talk to, the more likely you are to find your green M&Ms. And here's the last thing I'm going to say about that. If it's going to take me 1,200 conversations to find 3 green M&Ms, and who knows how many it's going to take, but let's just say if it's going to take me 1,200 conversations to find my 3 green M&Ms, I'm going to do my 1,200 conversations in 30 to 60 days or a shorter time period than spreading that over 12 months. It's your choice. You get to choose that. Do you want to do 100 people a day and do 1,200 people a month or a year? Hang on. 100 people a month and 1,200 people a year? Or do you want to compress that and find them quicker? That's the thing, guys. That's the thing, right? It's up to you on what you choose to do with your time. Okay? Man, I am preachy tonight. Y'all are getting a preachy side of me tonight. All right. The last topic, you guys, is I want you to, and this is where I want you to think about your leadership. So we talked about a skill set. Now we talked about mindset and commitment. Now I want you guys to think about, like, think introspectively, like who you are. Be honest with yourself in what I'm about to say. Okay. I want you to focus the next 30 days on raising the bar in your influence. Raising the bar in your influence. What is influence? Influence, the simplest definition I can give you is influence equals leadership. Okay, well, Tara, break that down a little bit more for me. What is influence? Influence is the ability to encourage another person to do something that you would like them to do. And hopefully it's a positive influence. Okay, it can be negative, but we're here to be positive people. Okay, that's what influence is, right? So there's three options I'm going to explain to you guys. Three options, and I want you to pick one of them. Okay, and you're going to be able to know when I'm talking which one probably sounds like the one you need to listen to. Okay, so option number one is high standards and visibility. Is this the one you want to work on? High standards and visibility. What that means is how you're showing up in every space, how you're showing up on social, how you're showing up in Zooms, how you're showing up in chats, how you're showing up to your audience, to your team, to your upline. Okay? Visibility. This is going to set the standard for who you attract into your business. Both personal directs, so your audience, who you attract, but the way you show up to your downline is also going to shape who they bring to you for three-way chats or who they want to connect this team to. So it goes both ways. Do you follow me on that? Right? If you show up casually, you're going to attract casual business people that maybe dabble. If you show up with excellence, and you get to define what that is to you, okay, then you're going to attract excellence. Do y'all remember the bus? It was the coach that talked about getting on the bus, the reel that I had you guys watch, right? Do you want to be on the bus? Do you want to be off the bus? Do you want to be asked to stay on the bus? Do you want to be asked to get off the bus? Excellence. Okay, here's the truth. The way you show up in every space sets the ceiling, the lid, the max of who you're going to attract into your business. If you're doing dabble work, but you're really wanting this big leader to come into your business, or this person with high influence, this great entrepreneur, this person that's going to go get them, and you're not go getting them, you're not going to attract them. They're not going to show up. Okay, that's called a lid. That's you putting a lid on your business. And I have a whole book study I want to do eventually. I got to figure out when. I've got all these ideas. But there's a book study, The 5 Levels of Leadership. If you want to take on a book, that's the book to take on. It's not a difficult read. Holy smokes, it's so good. 5 Levels of Leadership by John Maxwell. We will be doing a book study at some point on the team with that. But guys, that matters, okay? If it's inconsistent posting, if it's camera off on Zoom all the time, I'm not calling anybody out, but if it's consistent all the time, if it's distracted in chats, right, you're going to get casual energy back from your team and from your audience. But if you show up with intention, with preparation, with presence, you're going to attract people who mirror that. I want you to ask yourself, if someone in my downline watched me for a week, like literally a shadow, if somebody from my downline shadowed me for an entire week, all day, would they be inspired by me and step up? Or would they be like, what? Okay, well, if that's what they're going to do, maybe I need to step back. That's a hard question to like really answer, right? Visibility is not just about being seen. It's about being seen in a way that inspires trust and followship. Followship. Okay? Posting with purpose, showing up on time, engaged, prepared, collaborating, talking with your downline, driving your downline, bringing in new, right? Adding value. Leaders, guys, okay, I'm going to get preachy here. Just something came to me. Leaders don't get the luxury of hiding. Leaders don't get the luxury of hiding. right? This is a leadership call. I can say something like that to you guys, right? Y'all gave me permission to talk like this when you said I'm here for it, okay? Leaders don't get the permission or the excuse or the luxury to hide. They set the tone. And the tone you set is the culture you get back on your team. Ooh, I'm making myself tingle tonight. Y'all, you hear me? Do you get it? Right? Leaders, we don't get to hide. Okay, that's option one is visibility. Option two is a skill set deep dive. Okay. And what do I mean by this? I want you to think, and maybe that's not yours. Okay, so you're still listening to the options. Maybe right now, what's best for you is to choose one skill to master this quarter. Okay. Is that closing? Is that inviting? Is that duplicating? I want you to go all in on that skill set. Go all in on it. Closing, inviting, or duplicating. Leadership in this business is a stacked skill. It stacks. Okay? The more you stack, the more skills you stack, the more unstoppable you become as a leader. The more drive you create, you generate, you magnetically bring, and then your team blossoms when you have skills stacked on skills and stacked on skills. Okay? And the first three skills that I believe a true leader has in network marketing is closing, inviting, or duplicating. Okay? The problem here is most leaders try to improve everything all at once. And then it's like kind of 30%, 30%, and 30%, right? And they'll get close to 100%, they feel. But it's really not, that's not it. Okay? You're trying to do everything all at once. And what you end up making is very small progress that's not going to really move the needle where you need it to be, instead of one big progress in one of those areas. Okay? So for this quarter, if this is the skill set you want to, or the option that you want to focus on is this skill set deep dive, I want you to pick one: closing, inviting, or duplicating. Closing, an example would be in the next 90 days, I want you to study scripts. I want you to find your voice. I want you to practice transitions. I want you to really practice the feel, felt, found method of overcoming objections. Go back and watch that video. Guys, ask ChatGPT. This is what I'm really wanting to focus on and learn. How do I benefit my skill sets? Teach me. Refining how you handle objections in your downline and in your responses to yeses, so that you become this person that's like, I can close anything. That's a bomb skill set to have. Okay. The inviting would be an example of you practice so many ways to spark curiosity in various conversations. You're literally looking and listening for ways and options in conversations to invite people. And you do it daily, consistency, that it becomes second nature that you invite somebody to take a look at Bravenly and it no longer feels awkward. And then duplicating, an example for duplicating would be focusing on simplifying systems in your mind so that you can duplicate our systems in your team. Okay, we've got the systems on the team, but you've got to duplicate that. You've got to make sure you understand them. And how do you understand them? By doing them, enrolling, going through with somebody, doing the things. You're duplicating and you're following the steps of others. Amy Spence says this all the time. Success leaves clues. Success leaves clues. Follow who is succeeding, right? And repeat it, okay? And I want you to ask yourself, if I master just one of these skills in the next 90 days, just one of them, closing, inviting, or duplicating. And then what happens when you master a skill? What happens? Just naturally, you become a teacher of it, right? So if you're going to master it, you can then teach it. If I did one of these three things, ask yourself, how much faster would my team and I grow, right? Mastery in one area creates momentum in all other areas. Okay, so that's option two. And option three, as we wrap up, is the leadership gap audit. Okay, so you have the visibility as option one. Number two is the skill set. And number three is the leadership gap audit. Okay, what do I mean by this? And you're going to pick one of these, okay, guys? I want you to write down the top three things that keep you from being the obvious choice for mentorship in your team. Okay, what do I mean by that? I want to challenge you with something that's uncomfortable. It's an internal audit on yourself. Okay, so I want you to ask yourself this question. If somebody in my team needed a leader to model, would they choose me? And if the answer is anything less than yes, yes. And this isn't ego, this is not ego, but if it's less than yes, I want you to figure out why. This isn't to shame, this isn't to point fingers, this is to better ourselves. And so the three gaps, the top three gaps, I want you to write those down. Maybe it's back to the first one. It's not being visible enough. Maybe you're not doing the things that your team needs. Maybe it's I'm avoiding hard conversations that need to happen because they're uncomfortable. Maybe it's I'm not making enough scary asks and being consistent. Maybe it's not I'm not engaging fully into training my team or doing team events or driving volume. Once you identify these gaps, create a plan for 90 days for you to focus on them, right? Leadership does not just happen in time with this business. It happens with intentionality, closing the gap between where you are and the leader that you want to be. Okay. And this audit is going to help you do that. So those are the three things I want you to choose from: visibility, skill set, or leadership. Okay. Guys, Q4 is almost there. We're not quite there, but we're almost there. And I want you, this is your homework for tonight. I want you to pick one of those three options. But your homework tonight is I want you to go befriend ChatGPT. Go make a new buddy. Okay? I want you to practice talking to it and sending it some of your written stuff and teaching it who you are. I mean, tell it who you are. I'm, a mom of 5 who homeschools. I'm 38. I'm Caucasian. I like this, this, and this, blah, blah, blah. Like I told it who I was. This is what matters most to me: faith and family. I am a red personality. I am very driven. Sometimes I get lost in my work and I become impatient. Like I told it about me. Okay. So your homework is I want you to plan 7 days of content using ChatGPT. Just 7 days. Okay. 7 days of content. Okay. Leadership is not about the time that you have or don't have. It's about a decision on what kind of leader do I want to show up to be this quarter? What kind of business do I want to have? Okay. I'm excited to see what you each do in this room. If you are not caught up, now is your time to get caught up. Okay. Grace period is kind of over. Love you guys, but grace period's over. Get caught up. I'm excited to see you grow. I'm excited to see what Brandy is like on August 30th, what Mackenzie is like on August 30th, what Savannah is like, the growth that happens. Okay. I know this group is already full of leaders, right? And here we're going to grow a legacy together. I love you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me for the hour. I'll post this and that Google Doc in our Rise room. We'll see you around.